a little while ago created around it. Just going through the funding scenario. So it's the subway, the project itself gets funded 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 when the project is finally laid out. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
1/3 provincial,
Federal?
1/3 federal, 1/3 shared between York and the city. Our share of that 1/3, 60% roughly.
60%, correct. So if we broke that down, it would be fair to say that for about 15 cents to the dollar that we put into the project, into this investment, about 85 cents comes from other sources. York Region, the province, the feds.
That's exactly right.
Okay. And we get the asset in its entirety at the end of the day. We get the $2.6 billion asset.
That's correct.
So we put in $400 million at the end of the day. We got a $2.6 billion asset.
400 or less, hopefully.
Okay. I just want to understand what's going to be happening this year. I want to understand that a little clearer. So the federal government has given us $75 million, correct?
I think it's 70. But yes.
Okay.
They flowed 70.
So based on their 70 or $75 million contribution, we are obligated to contribute our 60% of the 1/3 share of that, correct?
Well, basically what we're doing is as we spend monies with EAs and early design work, you would follow the 1/3 principle. We would still, in effect, only be paying our 15%, if you will, that you've highlighted. That's all that will occur. But what we are trying to do in the positive part with the money that came from the feds is we can utilize that 70 million up front along with the provincial money that's already in the trust.
Okay, that's right, and that was my other question. So the provincial government money is already in a trust, and this year we're basically going to be spending on the subway project about $56.8 million. Is that correct?
That's the estimate.
In total?
Yes.
So the city share of that is around $11 million. That's for this year on engineering design work.
Roughly, yes.
Okay. So I just want to characterize it in a way that that makes sense, because I know that some people have questioned the validity of the project. If Councillor Parker here had a house and he were putting a second story on his home, and Councillor Ray and I and someone else come along and say, for your $100,000 addition, we're going to give you $85,000, but you get to keep the home and the asset at the end of the day.
Thank you.
Councillor Parker wouldn't be a wise councillor if he said to us, no, please keep your money. I'm not going to put my $15,000 into a project where I get this $100,000 value at the end of the day. Would that be fair to say?
I believe so, yes.
So similarly, this council would be very unwise to basically deny itself this massive contribution from other sources into its capital asset envelope at the end of the day.
Do you, Madam Speaker? It's a fair analogy.
Thank you.
All right. We'll now start the speakers, and the first speaker is Mayor Miller.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and thank you, members of Council.